The first story of the day, thank you guys for joining. First story of the day is about France. So if you guys have been paying attention to Paris and France, there's been some really crazy protests and riots. I've spoken about it multiple times on my platform. Macron is very, very unpopular. He's a puppet president. They put him there. Obama, Rihanna, everyone said, he's so great, he's central. But the problem was no one really liked him. It was kind of like a Hillary sort of vote, I guess, where it was like, oh, we don't want that guy, so we're going to get this guy. But it's not working out. His approval rating has floated from 19% to 26%. The conservatives don't like him, the right wing doesn't like him, and even the left wing, like the populist left wing movement like we have in America, they don't really like him either. Trump's approval rating just yesterday was 50%. Macron's approval rating is like 23%. So even with all the good press and all the bad press on Trump, he's still 2 times as unpopular as Trump. It's really unfathomably insane how bad the media is. Like it's crazy how out of touch they are, and you just hope that they actually stop lying soon and tell the truth, because what they're doing is not working. So he's very, very unpopular. The taxes are high. The quality of living for the people is going down, I guess. They have to pay a lot, and on top of already paying a lot, Macron wanted to add a carbon tax or a gas tax. So that's what the news has been saying these protests were about. I've spoken to people in France. I've gotten different perspectives. He said the left and the right are upset. Even the police and the firefighters, they've lost control of the whole country, basically. It's like Trump, a lot of conservatives like him, some centrists like him, the police generally like him, the military likes him. In France, it's really not like that. Like, he lost even the people who are supposed to work for the state. That's how you destabilize or lose a country. It's gingerbread coffee for the season. But why I'm talking about it again today is that the news said that he got rid of the carbon or gas tax and that the protests and the riots are going to stop because that's all they wanted. Turns out it's not true. France is bracing for more violence, unfortunately. You never want to see that, but they're closing the Eiffel Tower. They're closing the museums. I just want to remind people the Eiffel Tower now has a terrorist fence around it. So first, it's people that they're saying are coming in that are causing violence and burning stuff. Now it's their own people. It's like they're burning their whole city down. I don't know what's going on there. But they're closing museums, closing the Eiffel Tower. 89,000 security personnel are going to be deployed around France to try to stop violence and destruction and fires. The problem is, though, is how many of those 89,000 people actually support the state, and how many of those 89,000 people support the yellow jackets or the yellow vests. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens, because it's clear to me now that this isn't just about a tax. It's not just about gas tax. It's not just about carbon tax. People are unhappy for multiple different reasons. I think the left wing is unhappy there. I read a progressive, someone who followed me. I was like, why are no progressives talking about this? I don't hear Bernie talking about it. I don't hear Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I don't hear Jimmy Dore, Kyle Kalinske. But he did show me an article where they were talking about it, and they thought that the protest is happening because people are tired of police violence. It's interesting. I think maybe like a portion of the left is mad at that, but I don't think that's what the protests are really over. That's what they're writing about. But it's a lot of things at once. High taxes, quality of living's going down, and from the people that I know in France, they took in hundreds of thousands of people from this refugee crisis in Syria, Libya, and they didn't really identify, what was going on and if they can intake them. And besides who the people were, let's just talk basic math and structure. If you have a system like France where they tax you a lot, they take your taxes, and there's a social safety net, there's health care, so everyone gets it. It works well in small places that everyone pays into. It doesn't work well when you bring in hundreds of thousands of people who don't pay into it. I'm not even talking about race, religion, gender, who they are, violent, nonviolent. It's just basic math. You can't have a system that 5 million people pay into and then 300,000 people take out of. The prices are going to go up and up and up, and it's worked for a while. It's not working now, so the gas is very high. There's extra taxes, and now you have 300, 400,000 people who are not assimilating to culture well, you could say, for multiple reasons. The government's not providing jobs, there's not enough work, they're being mistreated. But there's also, tens of thousands of people who really don't like Europe. They don't like the French people. They don't really like Western civilization. I'm not saying everybody, but a large percentage of them. And my friend in Syria even estimates that up to 25% of them are terrorist affiliates. I'm not saying all people from that region are terrorists. That would be rude and reckless. But the truth is that modern day, and this is my big beef because I'm very kind and compassionate, a lot of liberals and progressives, bless their hearts and souls, they don't have that switch of like strength and security. And instead of like really vetting people and being like, okay, these people hate Western civilization, these people want a job, these people want a better life, they just say like all these people are good, and if you disagree, you're racist, sexist, and xenophobic. And it's really weighing on Europe. We're going to talk about it later in my next piece, but all of these things combined, with the high taxes to the unfettered illegal or refugee immigration to the raise of crime. And go to Paris and talk to the people. You'll be like, I used to walk down that street, and they're like, don't go down there. And you're like, no, I used to always go down there. Well, it's not the same anymore. Paris is not Paris. France is not France, like Trump said a year ago. So a lot of things going on there. Both sides of the political debate, very unhappy, and you're going to see more violent protests and riots. It's really crazy, man. It's like Europe is really reaching a boiling point. Sorry. And it's interesting to see where it goes, but I hope everyone stays safe, from the police to the citizens to the innocent people to the small businesses that are getting burnt down. I mean, why would you burn down businesses and museums? It's disgusting. Like, I don't care if it's right wing or left wing. Like, why would you burn down artwork? I don't understand what's going on, but I don't live there. So, well, good luck to France. God bless you guys. Hopefully you figure it out. But Macron is not the guy. Nobody really likes him. Next story.